Welcome back to the Food Solution Summit 2.0. I'm your host, Mary Sheila. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Nicolay Johnson, who is a heart-led holistic practitioner, educator, coach, and energetic medicine guide who supports women to embody their personal power and feel confident in their body. Nicolay is a passionate advocate in supporting women's health. She collaborates with other practitioners and organizations innovating holistic lifestyle in women's health. Nicolay's story is powerful. Her health journey started at a young age, but took a major shift when she was diagnosed with cancer while pregnant with her second child. This experience transformed Nicolay to embrace her power, to choose alternative medicines, to live naturally and holistically. Through her own experience, Nicolay has alchemized this life-changing event to expand her education and training so that she may help support women in their own health journey. Join me for this conversation where we dive deeper into some of the tools she shares around supporting the hormonal system and the metabolism.
Self-care, it's really important for me to take care of myself, because if I don't take care of myself, I cannot give to my family, I cannot give to my clients, I cannot give to my community. So I really make sure that's an important priority. And I've learned that through years before I was more of a giver. And that really neglected my own self-nourishment and my own energy, my own vitality. And it's so important to give back to yourself daily, or else you're just not going to feel energized. You're not going to have that time to give back to others too.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So what's your next tip?
So the next tip is with nutrition. So it is making sure all your meals have protein, carbs, and fats. And, this is I feel like this is kind of known, but I think it's something to always make sure and be mindful of, because sometimes we could be like, oh, I just need to eat so fast. And then, you're having just like lettuce and chicken. And then you're like, oh, where's that extra fat of olive oil or avocado? Like, it's really important to have all these nutrients within your meals, because then it creates a homeostasis of your glucose, like your blood glucose. So what happens though, if we don't do that, is that it can create cravings, and those cravings for sweets, because your energy is rise so quickly that you're going to drop back down so quickly. And so then you're going to want that sweet, because you need that energy to go back up again, because you're like, I need something, because your body's craving more energy. So when you have these three nutrients, it creates satiety. So you remain full longer, but also your energy remains pretty steady instead of a drop down and drop up. And we really want to make sure that our bodies are in a homeostasis steady level, so that we have that energy consistently throughout the day, especially in the afternoon time, because I know that for my clients and myself too, that there's like that slump. And so when you're making sure that your meals, especially your lunch, has those three nutrients, you'll remain and have that steady amount of energy throughout the day. So it's just making sure that you're having those within all your meals to create that steadiness.
Yes. Yeah. I'm so into like balanced meals, it's like my, my soapbox. So yeah, I think that's really important, because it really does contribute to steady, stable energy, which is kind of what you're really talking about on the physical level, and not that, adding to all those cravings. Absolutely. And I know too, like you're kind of a big proponent of like spices and things like that.
Yes. Thank you for that reminder. And
Yeah.
making sure that you do incorporate spices like turmeric or cilantro is such another good one, because then that also helps break down the fats and proteins. So you want to add those boosters within each of your meals as well, to give you that extra support when you're eating your meals. So
Yeah.
really
I'm glad you use that word boosters, because that's like our Bowman College word, and credit to Ed Bowman, like booster foods, right? So what are booster foods? So we have proteins, we have carbs, we have fats, but then we have all these other things like spices, herbs, seeds, sometimes some of the powders or maybe the supplements, but then like nutritional yeast and seaweeds, like things, and maybe even different kinds of salts, like things that we don't eat a ton of, but we add them in to boost the nutritional profile. And really what those things contain are like the micronutrients and the vitamins and the minerals in pretty potent amounts for food. And it just boosts the energy profile and the nutrient profile of a meal in a pretty profound way. And, over time, again, like that's how we get more energy. And I know I probably said this more than once on the summit, but herbs and spices are like one of the most nutrient dense foods on the planet. And it's not like I'm all, hey, give me a cup of cumin, it's like a sprinkle of cumin. So it's more like, okay, but if I'm consistent with my spices, I'm getting a good hit every single time. And that, that's the key right there.
Yes. And it's a great way to add flavor.
Yes.
And just like to make your food more rich instead of just adding more salt. I think it just makes
totally
boost the flavor as well to make it more flavorful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.